So it's great to be live here now and share today all the details about the Nomadbase Safari. We if you are around, we'll just wait a little bit for everyone to join. Please let us know where you are. And yeah, in the meantime, I also want to introduce you to Julia. Julia is one new member inside the Nomadbase team. We are still the same team, but we are just growing. So I'm super happy that Julia is part of the Nomadbase team now as well, because Julia is actually living in South Africa, and she's been helping a lot to put together this safari for us. So super happy to have you here, Julia.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun working on the safari so far, and I'm quite excited to get going. Yeah.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know Julia, so I've actually been Julia working together with Julia on other projects for over 2 years now. And yeah, so excited to share all the details with you here. Please let us know in the comments where you are right now. It's good to see you here, Pale, and yeah, everyone else. Just it's great. We would love to know who's all around. Yeah, to hear about this webinar now, and then we'll actually just dive right into it, because it's actually quite a lot of information that we need to share. So, but yeah, in the meantime, just let us know where you are. We are actually a little bit delayed here, so we sometimes see what you're writing a little bit. There's quite a few differences, but great to see you all here. And we're going to jump right in. Also, what you can do, please, during the webinar is just ask your questions. We're going to answer a lot of questions at the end of the webinar, but maybe we will not dive right into it when we're going into the safari. So basically, we'll just share some basics with you, the route, then we'll go over every day what is going to happen, and then we explain you a little bit more in detail how everything will work. So great to see everyone here: Ivona, Surya, Georg, Ruben, Michelle. It's great to have you all here today. And Chris, a lot of people from Bansko, where there was just the Nomad Fest actually. And so super happy to now dive right into the details about this safari. Just one background, actually, I've been wanting to organize this experience for a really long time, because personally I've been to Southern Africa. I've traveled all over Southern Africa twice already, once with local transport, and once we just had a car. And so actually I'm super excited to now organize this trip on a truck, which is definitely the best way to see different parts of Southern Africa after I've done the other one. So when we were driving by ourselves, we had a lot of speed cops who were there, where we needed to negotiate a lot on how to travel further. And when we were doing it with local transport, it was also a lot of fun. But the problem was that it took a long time to always get from one place to the next. And I also always saw people who were going on overland trucks, and that's just a nice concept. So we'll dive right into this now, and excited to share everything here with you. Okay, so I just need to go. Okay, so some of the highlights that we'll be going to will be Kruger Park, Chobe National Park, and Victoria Falls. Kruger Park is in Southern Africa, and it's in South Africa. Chobe National Park is in Botswana, one of the most famous parks as well in the world, and Victoria Falls, just another highlight, one of the biggest waterfalls in the world. And the way, so it's basically the safari will go for we'll go to 3 countries. Actually, you can even go to Zambia as well, because that's right next on the border in at the Victoria Falls. The whole trip will go for 11 days. Julia, do you know round about the kilometers that we're going? I think it's around 2,000 kilometers, right?
I think it should be. Yeah, I think it should be. The total driving time would be, if you would drive it consecutively, would be 22 hours. So I would imagine it's around 2,000 kilometers roughly.
Yes. And and we're super excited to go with the Nomadbase community. So we will have actually 2 different trucks on these routes. And the thing is that we will organize this year 2 dates when these safaris are happening. So the first one is going between the 23rd and the 2nd of November, and the other one is going between the 19th and the 29th of November. So the reason why we have 2 different dates is because actually right in between we are organizing a conference in Cape Town, and this is kind of like a bonus for the participants. We might organize more safaris in the future, but now it's kind of a thing that we want to organize for those of us who are joining the event in Cape Town, that you can experience a little bit more of Southern Africa together. And if you're going to Cape Town and you're making all your way from all over the world, actually, then these safaris are an amazing way to see a lot of things inside the Southern Africa. So here you can see a little bit the route. The thing is, while our conference is actually in Cape Town, we could now drive all the way up to the northern part where some of these Africa's highlights are, but so we are skipping that because there's not really so much to see between Cape Town and Johannesburg. It's a lot of desert. It's very flat. It would just take a lot of time to drive up, and that's why we've decided that we are going to meet in Johannesburg. So you're not gonna need to go right into Johannesburg. We have accommodation that is just it's just 10 minutes right from the airport, and that's where we will meet. So they are in between Cape Town, and actually also internationally, Johannesburg is probably one of the easiest places to get to. And we also have a pickup service so that you can safely just fly to Johannesburg, and we're gonna meet there 10 minutes from the airport, and this is basically where the whole journey is going to start when we are on the trip. So again, some of the highlights are the Kruger National Park, probably the most famous national park in the world, the Victoria Falls. We're also going to go on a sunset game cruise in Botswana, which will be amazing. And then lots of also networking, masterminds. We're going to put that in between. We have a very entrepreneur-minded community with Nomadbase, so there'll be lots of time to talk, for good conversations, for spontaneous workshops, but also since we are all digital nomads, in case you need to do a little bit of work, that will also be possible, but the focus is on really sharing this lifetime experience together. And so this is how the truck is actually going to look like. On this truck, we are going through Africa. So what you need to keep in mind is that basically when we are driving through different areas, sometimes there will be a little bit of dirt road. So the car needs to have a very good suspension. We've actually checked out these trucks right in Cape Town, and they are really amazing. You have lots of leg room. It's much better. It's kind of like a business class flight. So you will have much more legroom than in any car, and this conversion that is sitting on top of this truck that you can see here up there, it's super comfortable. There's space, I think, for over 25 people inside the truck, but we're not going to fill this completely, so that there's a little bit of space for everyone, to enjoy this. And we are going to use this truck, but also sometimes in the national park, we jump on smaller vehicles where we can get a little bit more off track or on night rides or other things. You can camp inside these tents that you see there, but there's also a way to have other accommodation in like 3-star type of accommodation. We have some beautiful resorts that we'll be stopping by. Some are a little bit more basic, something is a bit more fancy. And usually there's a huge pool, there's a way how we can chill out. And there'll be some food served for everyone every day. And that just to give you a little bit of impression here. Again, if you have any questions, please ask us. We're going to answer everything later. We want you really to be very well informed how this trip will work. Yeah, so that there's no more questions afterwards, not too many. So, Julia, do you want to talk a little bit more about the days? The first day we already explained, right? It's 10 minutes from the airport of Johannesburg. If you want to see a little bit of Johannesburg, it's an interesting city. There's, of course, also some things to do there. So, you could just fly there a little bit earlier, like just go there maybe for 2 days before, so that you can do you can do some historic visits there as well, and then join the group. So that's also good. Unfortunately, we cannot wait. If you miss some planes or something, then you need to find us somewhere on the road. If you have a little bit of time to go and venture into Johannesburg 2 days before, you're welcome to do this. But otherwise, we just meet kind of right next to the airport, and we can help you to pick you up there, so that you have a very nice, safe arrival. And what are we doing on the second day, Julia?
So the second day takes us straight into Kruger Park, which is, I think it should be around 5 hours of driving. And then we will just settle down in the rest camp. We're going to stay there for 2 nights. So that's also nice and easy. You can just settle in, set up the tents, whether you're camping or whether you're in the room. And then we're going to go on the first open vehicle night game drive. So for anyone who hasn't been on a safari, you have different types of animals, obviously, and some of them are nocturnal, and some of them will be out and about maybe during the daytime or for sunrise. So we're going to go see whether we can spot some of the nocturnal animals. That will be your lions and leopards, and that's going to be a great highlight, I think, for the first night. On the third day, we're gonna still be in Kruger and go for 2 separate game drives in our trucks, which is also very cool because the trucks, you couldn't really see in the photo now, but the trucks have very nice big windows. So it's very easy to spot everything, and we can be a bigger group. And we're going to try and spot the big five. So the big five is this big thing. You try and get the grand slam, basically. So you have your leopards, lions, buffaloes, rhinos, and elephants. Maybe we're going to be lucky and can get them all in Kruger Park. And then on the fourth day,
I want to say one more thing. So also, we have a really cool camp where we are staying on the third day. Actually, it's right next to the border of Kruger Park, because on the fourth day we need to leave very, very early. But the thing is that in between those times when we are going on those drives, we have a great camp with a huge pool where you can just really enjoy the nature. I think that there are some water holes as well, so the animals might even come very close to the camp. So really super nice Nkambeni camp, that's the name. So this will be the third day. And then on the fourth day,
the fourth day is one of my personal favorites. So we actually really tried hard to get some variety and to show you different parts. So you have some game, you can see some animals, you have some landscape changes as well. So we're going to get into the trucks quite early after breakfast and then take this route called the panoramic route, which is basically going through the Blight River Canyon, which you can see in the photo here. And then, we're going to make 2 stops during the day, maybe have a little lunch break, walk around. So the first one is the 3 Rondevilles, and the second one is Berg's Luck Potholes. And you can, just take in the scenery. It's going to be such an incredible drive. So it's going to be a lot of driving, but I think the drive itself will be amazing. Yeah.
Yes, I have to say that it's also one of my favorite parts in South Africa. This drive that we are going to do on this day, just amazing scenery. Most people, they don't really know about this, but this is kind of like Grand Canyon, and amazing to see. So we have this route as well that will kind of slowly take us towards Botswana.
Yes. So on day 5, we're actually going to cross over into Botswana, and so we're going to Palapi, and which is kind of between Francistown and Gaborone. Gaborone is the capital, and we're gonna settle in the accommodation, and then again jump in an open vehicle for a rhino sanctuary game drive. So this is, you get the black and white rhinos. It's two different types, and it's very rare to have a national park where you can actually go and spot both of them. So that's gonna be the afternoon activity, which I think is also gonna be very, very exciting. And you can, in between, maybe walk around. Like the place itself is also quite nice. So there are many things to see, which you will get in a more detailed itinerary. Once you sign up and everything, you can download this one, and you get some more pointers as to where you can go, what else you can look at. But yeah, that's also a very, very nice highlight, I think.
Yes, and on the 6th day, we are driving to Elephant Sands. That's another lodge in Botswana, so on the way to Chobe. The special thing there is that the place where we are staying, we are basically we are also going to chill out there for one day, because it will be quite a bit of driving in the days before. But basically, we are surrounded by elephants who will be joining us by the pool, not in the pool, but this lodge is just right in the nature, and it's very famous for the animals that come so close. And so actually, then on the 2nd day, we are just going to stay there. We're going to rest there a little bit. We're gonna relax there. We will organize some mastermind sessions, a little bit of a program, and just that's kind of like the half time of it's a little bit more than half of the distance of the journey, but just kind of relax in this beautiful place that is right in the nature, and where we get a lot of visitors. Big visitors as well. So I'm super excited for, like, when we talked to our operator that we're doing this with, he was basically so excited about this place. And then we thought, like, oh, we have to kind of make it work that we can go and visit this lodge as well. So just as a little background, actually, we did redesign the route about 4 times in the end to have it like this, and to really make sure that on the one hand, we have, a lot of different highlights, that, we are not just driving into the national parks, that we experience the nature also in many different ways, but also that it's like not, too much packed. We don't want to rush everything every day, that there's like a good combination of everything, and that in case someone needs to jump on a laptop, that there will also be some space and time to do this as well. So that is a little background about the route. And then on day 8, I think that this is going to be another really a highlight that, Julia, do you want to talk about?
So on day 8, we're going to make our way to Chobe National Park, and we're going to stay in the TB River Lodge, which is literally by the river. So you have we're gonna make once we get there, we're gonna go for a little sunset cruise that evening. And basically what you can see is like the animals walking along the side, like in front of the sunset, and we're gonna be doing a nice cruise. And it's gonna be very chilled and very amazing background to watching some animals. So that's the afternoon activity for us, the sunset activity. And I think, as Johannes said, our tour operator literally said this is one of the best things, and people love it so much. So
so
I think the sunset
yes,
will not disappoint.
Yes, we're gonna bring some drinks on this boat. We will have the boat, for us, and just chill and have this like really unique experience there in Botswana as well. It's also something that first it wasn't really part of the journey, and then we kind of shifted some things around to include this this highlight as well. And and then we are actually already very close to the Victoria Falls, because it's only 90 kilometers drive to get to the Victoria Falls from the Chobe National Park. And that is then already in Zimbabwe. So with the border crossings, they can be fast, but they can also sometimes take a little bit longer. In general, you don't really need to worry about the visas, but we recommend that you check a little bit, how it will work. Maybe there would be like some small fees that you would need to pay, but everyone has got different things for visa. But in general, these countries are quite open. But it's yeah, it's important that you check. So on that day, we're going to Zimbabwe. It's just behind the border. The Victoria Falls, probably one of the most visited places also in Southern Africa. Lots of lodges, amazing scenery, and so many things to do around there. There are also hotels where you can have where the animals are coming super close. There's lots of adventures around. You can fly helicopter, you can go bungee jumping, a lot of stuff, and that's actually what will be the program on the 10th day. So on the 10th day, it's really up to you what you're doing there. Again, a lot of different adventure activities around the park. And just in case you still haven't seen, a lion or whatever, you could jump on another game tour, or just go bungee jumping, do helicopter flights. There's really, really a lot of things to do around Victoria Falls. And we are staying in the Shearwater Village there, which is an amazing place. Super beautiful, 3-star resort where you can also just chill out and relax after this amazing journey. So on the 11th day, unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye. And if you have some time, then you can also just extend there maybe 2-3 more days. It's a little bit like going to be a little bit similar to the Nomad cruise that we organized many in the past. So after these days, maybe you want to catch up a little bit on your work, want to do some more things that you didn't have so much time, and then staying a few more days, additional days in Victoria Falls. That is a great, really, really cool thing to do. Also, keep in mind, so now we have 2 dates. The one is before the conference that we're organizing, and the other one is after the conference that we're organizing. Before the conference, basically, you can still stay there 3 or 4 more days in Victoria Falls if you like, or you could go directly to Cape Town. You can book flights from there. What is important to know is that when you're booking flights from Victoria Falls, if you wait last minute, they can be quite expensive. But if you book it now, and you already know, I want to stay there for 2 more days, then it's much cheaper. It's probably 1/3 of the price, around 150 euros, I think, that you can book a flight, for example, to Johannesburg. If you're going there after the conference that we're organizing, what you can do also from Victoria Falls is you could also say okay, well, I'm just going to travel overland to Zanzibar, right? You can do a lot of things there. This is a great place to also venture into more parts of Africa. So that's another thing that you could do. But probably with these things, you've really seen with the route and the trip that we are organizing, you've already seen quite a lot. So really up to you what you make there. If you don't want to spend so much money on a flight, there will also be options that you can take a bus, for example, to Johannesburg, or you could go to Namibia. When I used to be there many years ago, actually, we were hitchhiking from there all the way through Botswana and then into to Windhoek. So that's also possible. Depends really on your appetite for adventure. Okay. So these are the basic things. So just to go a little bit more into the details, what is included in this trip? So basically, all the accommodation is included. You can choose between different options. So you can either say you're camping. Camping is always with 2 people. You can do it twin share. You can stay in the resort. We're always going to resorts that on the one hand offer rooms, but also offer camping. And that makes it possible for us to bring more people onto this, and also for us to stay together. But of course, we're still limited. It's not a cruise ship where we're going. So this safari is quite limited. And really, if you want to be on this trip, doing it last minute will probably not be possible. We expect that this is going to sell out very, very soon. And we also don't want to have too many people on board. It's the first time that we're organizing this. There might be more opportunities in the future. So we're thinking about 2 trucks for each route. And really, if you want to join, book it early, and then you're not disappointed. So again, the accommodation, you can choose between different options. We're all staying at the same place. all the national park fees for Kruger Park, for Chobe, for Victoria Falls, all these entrance fees that we have all over there included as well. What's also included in the tour are all the meals. So not all meals on the first day. We all arriving at very different times, and then you're at the airport. So then you want to maybe grab food immediately when you're coming there. But in general, most of the meals are included. And we also have vegan options, vegetarians, all these things are part of it. We will send you a survey just 10 days before the event. Then you can let us know, like, okay, this is what I want to eat. I want to have just vegetarian food or whatever. So basically, the drivers of these trucks, they are also preparing the meals for us. So every evening we are going to meet around the truck and we're going to have a nice dinner there, lots of different food, and something for everyone. So actually, people always tend to be super happy about the food that is being served on these journeys. Yeah, then we also have some activities included. So these special open vehicle drives. So sometimes we are going to switch the cars, right? We're not just all the time in the truck. Sometimes we jump on other cars as well. We also have the game cruise included. We have a traditional dinner on the last evening included. We're organizing nice networking sessions, masterminds, not so much like on a Nomad cruise, for example, but I believe that, I mean, first of all, friendships, but also like even business connections, these are made through experiences. And I think that this is a huge value as well, to go with other people and really experience this journey together. So we will try to incorporate a nice program. It's the first time now we're doing it, so we need to kind of figure out what does work well, but definitely some mastermind sessions and stuff, and everything is optional, of course, however you choose. But overall, I think it's going to be a really, really incredible experience, and then also with these overland trips. So price-wise, price is the next slide, I think. So price-wise, just you can pay a lot of money for safaris if you're staying in super expensive lodges, but we want to make really this affordable for everyone, even though it's a lifetime, a once in a life experience. But basically, we've tried to kind of bend the prices around a little bit, and we really want to make this for everyone who really wants this to save up. Even if you can even say start saving now, and then so that everyone can really make it. And that's why we have, for the super early birds who are booking this now, basically everything included: the meals, the drives, the events, the planning, the whatever, pretty much everything, almost all inclusive safari. It starts from 1,800 euros. And then if you are choosing to not camp, but you want to have a twin share, you want to stay inside the hotel. So again, it's like 3-star accommodation, all pretty nice, sometimes a little bit more basic because there's not so many options around, or only the lodges where it's like 300 or 1,000 euros a night. And then also like a single option. Again, we need your early commitment. That's why we reward those who are going to book this now. We kind of just want to do this safari as a test run. That will be much more expensive, I think, also in the future. For those of you who are basically committing to this now, in the next days, the tickets will go live tomorrow. We can offer it for that price, and I think it's a incredible experience. And again, you don't need to, it's almost what you would spend in these 10 days anyway. It's not exactly the same, but you have so many things included. You don't really need to, you're not going to have many other expenditures during those 11 days. So if you want to join on board, I think it's an incredible opportunity. And the tickets, they will go live tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And we're going to explain to you now how this is going to work. And so again, this is, we already have almost 160, 170 people booked for our Nomadbase live event in Africa. And we really want this to be exclusive. Well, not exclusive, but we want to give those people priority who are already joining the event in Cape Town. So what we are doing is that we send out a link to everyone who's got a ticket for the Nomadbase Live event in Africa. If you don't have a ticket yet, you can join. You can go to the Africa website, and then you will get also the booking link for the safari tomorrow at 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock German European CET time, and then you can book your ticket. So that's how you can do it. If you are not a member of Nomadbase, basically, one tip is to join Nomadbase for 1 year, and then you get a free ticket for the Cape Town event. So that's a little tip for those people who are joining Nomadbase for the first time. Okay, and yeah, so the bookings are opening tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And you can visit if you also need more information. Now we have the website, nomadbase.com, Safari. Julia, do you want to share it in the chat?
Yes.
And we can share it there as well. So you can find out more things, like everything that we're talking about. And of course, if you have questions, you can let us know. Yeah, when do I have to book? As soon as possible. Do I have to pay the full amount when I book? No. So you don't need to pay the full amount at the moment. You only need to pay a deposit of 300 euros. We basically just need to know you're on this, and this deposit is just it's just your commitment that you're joining, and the remaining amount you only need to pay 45 days before. So even if you don't have the full amount now, you can pay the 300 euros now, and then you can do everything later during the event. Okay, so Julia just left here, but I will go more into details. So I'm just going to share here the website. Okay, and Julia is back. I just shared the website. Yes. Okay. So you only need to pay a deposit to join. And what else? Well, there's a cancellation policy, so you can check this out on the website a little bit more how it works. But of course, we don't need anyone, to cancel last minute and then ask for a full refund of the things. This makes it impossible for us to organize. But yeah. What is really super important is that you have a proper a travel insurance, right? So we're gonna ask for your details exactly. In general, we think that this trip is pretty safe, but in case something happens to you, it can be expensive, right? We are in quite remote areas. So it's very important that everyone has got a travel insurance. And if you don't, then you cannot join, unfortunately. So this is something that is super important, that you have booked the travel insurance. I think that you all know as nomads where to get those travel insurance. There are many different providers. So that's one thing. Again, for visas, you need to check yourself what you need. In general, it can be quite easy to do it. Well, the visa shouldn't be something really to worry about, but just look it up. In general, it's no problem at all with the visas. How can you return from the Vic Falls? I already explained this. You can either take a bus, for example, to Joburg. You can even fly internationally from Victoria Falls. Please look this up. The only thing that we would recommend is not to book it last week, the flights, because I monitored the flights now a little bit, and they can get quite pricey if you book it just shortly before the event. Yes, we will have about 22 people per truck, so that's a good number. That gives us a little bit of space in each truck, and yeah, it's a perfect number for this. So we are planning to have 2 trucks per departure, so spots are quite limited. And again, if you want to join on board, please let us know. Book your deposit tomorrow. And then this also helps us, of course, a lot to plan the whole event and to do everything. Okay. There's no flights included. what clothing will I need? So one thing is important to know. When we are starting in Johannesburg, actually it can get quite chilly because we're on 1,600 meters height in Johannesburg. So at night it could be even 10 degrees only, and then in Botswana it can be 30 degrees. So when you're coming also to Cape Town in November, usually the weather is quite nice, but you need to bring some, at least 2 sweaters or something, so that you can you're well prepared. Okay. And yes, so this is what will the weather be like, what will the accommodation look like. Again, like these are 3-star accommodation or it's camping. For camping, we will ask you 10 days before, if you have someone that you want to share the tent with, so you can already connect inside the Nomadbase community and see whoever wants to be part of this, and whoever you want to share with. And if you're not sharing with anyone, then we will just pick someone for you. But we will ask you about 10 days before, also for all your food options and everything. Okay. With whom will I share accommodation? So this I just answered. Will I be able to work during the safari? Again, this is something a little bit like Nomad Cruise. There will be some internet. We cannot guarantee that it's super well everywhere. We will also check this and see if we, need to maybe invest into some Starlink infrastructure for future trips. But in general, like every guest house has Wi-Fi, but again, we cannot guarantee. So just try to prepare yourself well to work as little as possible. Also, you want to make the most of the experience. The best experience also you can get from this when you really connect with everyone else. You use those dinners. I mean, we're going to spend a lot of nice time together, but there are definitely always, every day, there's like 1 or 2 hours where you can probably do some work, but we are not to blame if there's problems with Wi-Fi or whatsoever. Okay, so this is something where we also need to make some experiences on. Julia is back again. And do you have to worry about crime? So in general, the areas where we're going are pretty safe. We are going a lot overland. We're not really going into bigger cities or whatsoever. When you're in Johannesburg, that's something where you need to be a bit cautious. But again, we can pick you up at the airport, and don't really worry about it in Johannesburg. However, if you're going there 2 days before, please be careful and read some tips on how to stay safe there. But in general, on the whole journey, you don't need to really worry. Of course, we can never guarantee anything, but this is the experience because we're going quite remote areas, and Zimbabwe, Botswana, they are very safe places. Yes, so the food is it's great. It's different. South African, we have vegan, vegetarian options. Don't really worry about it. We can be pretty sure that this will be great food, will be fresh, prepared every day by the trucks, and so it's something to look forward to. And if you have any more questions, please email us to hello@nomadbase, and we are super happy to help. We are now just going to dive into some of the questions that you have asked here. And Julia, do you want to pick some questions?
Yes, I already saw some of them. So Sally says, is a sleeping bag required if you choose the bed option? It is not. So the sleeping bag is only required if you choose the camping option. As per the weather, it's also potentially not really going to be super cold once we hit Botswana. However, because you don't want to carry around a sleeping bag, and you can get one to Johannesburg once we depart, we can also organize one for you. You must just let us know beforehand. But answer is no, only for camping.
So will there be space for my suitcases on the trucks? I don't travel with carry-on. So in general, we really recommend you that you try to bring as little as possible. You can probably store something in Johannesburg if you have way too much, but we are a little bit limited with space. I do think, though, that most of us are not going to bring way too much. So if someone has a suitcase, it's probably going to work. But otherwise, maybe we have to, put it somewhere. It's a little bit hard to answer this question. So, but try to bring not as too much stuff, and then I'm sure that everything will be fine. Okay. Yes. So what exactly is a truck, Annalena? Yes. Well, basically, it is a truck. It's a truck, a converted truck. The cars that we are on, it's really a normal truck. And then instead of the back loading options, there are the compartments which we showed a little bit earlier in the webinar, and they are super comfortable to sit there. Again, this is kind of like a business class travel, not as normal seats, but you have a lot of leg room. We were inside the trucks and we checked them out. So
They are amazing.
they
They're
are
really
super
cool.
comfortable. It's very nice to sit there, and yeah. I don't know, there's no toilets inside the truck, but we're gonna have a lot of toilet breaks and stuff, so not really to worry about. What time on the 19th will the safari depart? So the safari, basically, the way how it works is that we're meeting at night in Johannesburg. We're going to stay there at the place, and then we are leaving quite early, I think around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. But we want everyone to be there in the evening before. So, but you can take in theory, a little bit later flight to come. But ideally, we have a briefing. We will have a briefing in the evening, and would be good if everyone can make it there.
One of Ruben's questions also the difference between the open vehicle drive and the trucks. So basically, it's a different type of vehicle. As Johannes mentioned, the trucks take up to 25 people, which we're not going to fill, but let's say 20 something people, and they're just quite big. You can open the windows, and they're also very apt to do game drives with. The open vehicles will be roughly 8 to 10 people, so it's like a little Land Rover or something similar, and it's open, so you'll be slightly higher up. It's just a bit of a different experience, but both are very much apt to do these game drives. And yeah,
the nice thing is actually with the trucks that you're quite high, so you can see much more than if you would just go with a normal car. It's just that we are a little bit more people inside the truck, but it wouldn't make such a big difference. But if we would take just open vehicle drives everywhere, then we would also need to change the price of the safari quite a bit. But there's also always options. If you don't want to go in the truck, then you could book something else. But I don't think it's really necessary, and it's also fun to be with everyone inside the vehicles. So yeah. Just the last question. Oh, actually, the trucks, they don't have AC, but we're gonna have the cars open, and it will be fun
African
to
AC
run it like this. Yeah. It's really not necessary with the AC. I mean, we're driving, we keep the windows open, and it's much better actually as for the experience. So yes, do we arrive in Johannesburg on November 19th, then stay in the hotel, then leave the trucks next early morning on the 20th? Yeah. Yes. So the hotel, of course, the hotel is included on the 19th, and that's really when we want to start the safari. But we just want to meet in the evening so that everyone is there so that everyone is available to do it. So the tickets are not transferable. Like, we kind of need to have a full commitment. I mean, of course, we can always talk about things, but you can send us an email if you have really many issues. But in general, now we say, if you book this, then your name is on there. Then we're in communication with all the places where we're staying and stuff. So we kind of want to have a full commitment. We can always talk about things if something happens, but that's just for us to be safe, on the safe side, because it is quite a lot of money that we also need to pay in order to secure these safaris and actually make these things happen. So I hope that you are excited about this trip. I really cannot wait to do this, to go onto these yeah, onto this journey. And I'm sure that everyone is going to really love this experience. And yeah, we hope that you can join us and that you would be part of this as well. And basically, yeah, if you want to join, please confirm this tomorrow. Get your early bird ticket. Again, there'll be a lot of time to, well, if you book it now, again, the tickets are quite limited, and it helps us as well to organize the whole thing. And yeah, and we can't wait to go on this journey with you, either before or after. And again, if you have any questions, please let us know. We did now 45 minutes. I think that's more than enough. And yeah, so unfortunately, no dogs can join on this journey. But yeah, that's about everything from our side. And yeah, we hope to see you on the safari. And again, if you already have your ticket for Nomadbase Live, we're going to send you the booking link tomorrow. If you don't have it yet, go to nomadbase.com, get your ticket for Cape Town, and then we will send you once you have the ticket for Cape Town, you will also get the booking link tomorrow. Okay, so excited to go on this journey with you.
Super excited, guys. So see you in Southern Africa.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.